Hi everyone. Okay, so today I am going to be doing a very quick tutorial for you. It is what I like to call jellyfish nails. Now, I do believe they're called watercolour nails, but I think they look like jellyfish, so I'm renaming them. I saw a tutorial a few weeks ago now. If it was your tutorial, thank you very much for the idea. I'm borrowing it. I don't know whose it was. I forgot to say that I saw it on YouTube and it was really cool, so I thought I'd recreate it. And what I'm going to be using is CND Shellac in Blackpool, and then I've got some acrylic paints here. So what I'm going to be using, I'm sorry this is really close up, these paints are huge. I've got Reeves acrylic paints, I've got gold, silver, copper and white. Now I got these just from a craft store in Australia. And I've got a bowl of water with a paintbrush. Actually I'm using two paintbrushes. I'm using... Hang on, just let me, sorry, this one's actually dirty. I've been practicing its technique and then I thought I'd do a video. So I've got this one, fine one, and I've got a thicker one. So I'm going to be actually dotting on the paint with this one and then sucking up the excess with this one here. So that's better, it's in focus now. Okie doke. So what I'm going to be using is I'm recycling a Samsung Galaxy phone case because I don't use a Samsung anymore and I've got loads of these cases floating around, so I'm going to actually use that to pop the paint on. And then I've just got in here to mop up the excess water. I'm just using a piece of kitchen pad here. And let's bring down the bronze colour here. So I've just loaded a bit of brush water on my brush and I'm just diluting it a bit. Now it's just trial and error as to how strong the colours are and how strong you want them to come out on the actual nail. So that's watered down, so I'm just cleaning off my brush. And I haven't tried the metallics yet, so this could turn out to be a disaster, so fingers crossed it doesn't. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my other brush, my little fine brush. And I'm going to load up the brush with some, excuse me, some of the bronze, and I'm just going to place, I'm only going to do this sort of around part of the nail so you get an idea because this is quite time consuming. So I'm just going to do a couple of blobs of the bronze. So that I've done that, I'm just going to do a couple more. And one there. So then I'm just going to let that just sit for a couple of seconds while I clean my brush. So that should theoretically be enough time. And then with my other brush, what I do is I'll just move this out of the way so you can see what I do. I've got cleaner water here, so I'm just dipping the brush in, cleaning it off, blotting it. And then with my first circle, I'm going in and I'm sucking up the water. And I'll just move this so you can see. So that's the tissue paper there. And then I'm blotting, cleaning the brush off, and then blotting, cleaning off the excess water. Sorry, I'm not very clear here, am I? And every time I'm doing it, I'm blotting. You can just put a bit of tiny bit of water on your brush just so that you get a clean circle. So as you can see, this would be hideously time consuming if you were doing 10 nails, but it is a fantastic effect. So that's the first one, and I'm just going to go in and do the others. So I'll show you one more and then I'll do the rest off camera so it doesn't take up so much time on the video. So just basically soaking up any of the water, and then you're left with this really cool sort of ring. So just make sure you don't put too much water on there because you can ruin it and you don't want it to go outside the ring. Okay, so there's two. Now I'm just going to do the others off camera to save a bit of time. I'll be back. Okay, so I've done that. Sorry, this is going to be a really messy video, guys, but you'll get the idea. So I've done that and it's given me these really cool bronze coloured rings. So now I'm just mixing up a bit of the silver and just putting a bit of water on until I get the consistency that I like. Rinsing that brush and then grabbing my other brush. So I'm going to go in and do exactly the same thing as I did with the bronze. And just making sure I've got enough. I don't want too much water on the brush. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to again just do random dots. And it doesn't matter if this overlaps the bronze at all, because you're just going to get this really cool effect when you remove your dots. Now I'm only going to do 4 dots because I'm just getting carried. Actually, I might do 5 because the quicker it dries, the larger the ring. See, this one here, the ring is quite large. That's because it's dried really quickly, or I've done too many dots and it's dried off. So then I'm going to grab my other brush, dip it in water, and I'm going to go in and just remove any of the excess again as I did before. And as you can see, once the bronze is dry, you can still see the rings even though you've done another colour over the top. So you get this really cool, I think they look like jellyfish. So that's what I'm calling this tutorial. It's my jellyfish tutorial. So as you can see, just sucking up the water and blotting off any of the excess colour. Okay, so I'm just going to do the rest of that off camera. Okay, so that's the silver done as well, and now I'm just going to see if I can focus that properly. There you go. So now I've just watered down a bit of the gold, and I'm just going to use the gold and white for very sort of small dots here. I just don't want to overpower this. I don't really need to do the gold at all, but I'm going to because I can. And just a few random, I'm not going to do many gold. So just a few little dots. Just make that one a bit bigger. Okay, so I might just do one more. About there, I reckon. Okie doke, so that's the gold. And I will do a few more off camera, but I'm just going to show you how to clean these again. So just go back to the first one, wet your brush a little bit, and then just start soaking up the excess colour. And as you see, as you do it, you can see the colours underneath. So I love this technique. I think this is really cool. And you can come up with so many different colour combinations. It'll just be absolutely brilliant. So it's literally just a matter of popping on your paintbrush, soaking up the colour, blotting, cleaning it off a little bit in water, the water tub is here, so just in case you don't think I'm doing that and you can't see properly. So just soak up the colour, and sorry guys, I'm not in camera there. Soak up the colour, and I'm just going to do the rest off camera and I'll be back in a sec. So that's all the gold done. Now I'm just going to go in and just do a couple of little white accents. So just exactly the same as before, water it down until you get the consistency that you want. Now you can have this opaque, the rings can be opaque, and if you obviously water it down a lot more, and they'll be a lot thinner, sort of finer looking, and I quite like mine quite strong, so I have done that. So I'm just going to just do a couple of little random white dots, just small ones, and I'm just doing one more. So again, this is a lot smaller, so you just have to be a lot more careful. Just suck up the excess. Does take a few goes. And the white is a pain because it's quite thick, this white, so I've done quite thick, so it's going to take me a little bit of time. So I'll just show you one more. Now there I've dropped too much water on it, so suck the water up quickly, and it doesn't make a mistake, thank goodness. But the water will make it run and you won't get a perfect ring. If it's a little bit out of focus, I'll focus it again when I've finished. Okay, so I'm just going to do the rest of them off camera. So that's had a few minutes to dry. I've finished off the white and I've cleared some of the mess away. So the next step is to top coat. So with your CND Shellac top coat, as you would normally, you just go ahead and do one top coat. So I'm just going to float that over the nail. And while the colours looked fairly dull before, you get a real pop of colour when you've put your top coat on. And it looks really, really pretty. So just, you've got no worries about smudging this either, because once they're dry they kind of don't budge. You can remove them with water, and obviously your palettes, you can clean them up with water afterwards, and your brushes, the acrylic comes off nicely. Seal a free edge there and pop that in the lamp for 2 minutes. Okay, so this is the finished nail, and I've obviously removed the inhibition layer, so this is what it looks like. So really cute, really just reminds me of jellyfish, like I said before. So I'm calling these my jellyfish nails. And there's a couple more that I did last week that I wanted to show you. So I've got this one, which is really, really full on and bright, which I love. Sort of jellyfish, jelly beans, lots of jelly. And then I did the one in black. So there's 3 different styles there, and they've all turned out really nicely. So I hope this gives you a little bit of another idea for some easy nail art. Now, as I said in the beginning of the video, I was inspired by somebody on YouTube. I didn't subscribe, so I don't know who it is, unfortunately. I will try and see if I can find them. It was just one of those videos that popped up on an advert, so I watched it. But if it was your video, thank you very much. You've inspired me to do these. Okay, guys, so if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, leave them in the comments box below. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And with the acrylic paints, they're just standard acrylic paints from an art shop, so there's nothing special about them. The brushes can be found on eBay. And there's nothing really that I need to leave a link, but I'll leave any information I need to down in the description bar. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. Bye.